I've been jogging for years. It's my way to stay sane, just me, the pavement, and my thoughts. I live in a quiet town in Oregon, tucked between dense woods and steep hills. It's peaceful, or at least it used to be. A few weeks ago, I started running a new route, Maple Trail. It's a narrow path that cuts through the forest and loops around a small reservoir. It's not heavily used, and most people avoid it after dusk. But I liked it. The silence, the stillness, the feeling of being completely alone, or so I thought. The first time I ran Maple Trail was just after 6 in the evening. The sun was low but still visible through the trees. I remember being struck by how quiet it was. No birds, no wind, not even the sound of bugs. Just my footsteps. About 2 miles in, I spotted someone up ahead. A man. He was standing still, maybe 50 feet off the trail, facing the woods. His back was to me, and he didn't move, not even as I passed. I thought it was weird, but hey, maybe he was just out for a walk, clearing his head. But he was there the next evening too. Same spot, same posture, still not moving. I slowed my run as I passed him. "Evening," I called out. Nothing, not a nod, not a twitch, just silence. I told myself he was harmless, maybe mentally unwell, maybe just eccentric. I didn't want to judge, but something about him made my skin crawl. The third night, I saw him again. This time he was closer to the trail, maybe 20 feet away. Same dark jacket, same boots, but now, he was facing me. He didn't speak, didn't blink, just watched. I felt my pace quicken instinctively. Every part of me screamed not to look back, but I did, and he was still standing there, still watching. That night, I barely slept. His face had been pale, too pale, like he hadn't seen sunlight in years. And his eyes, there was something wrong with them, something hollow, like staring into a dark room where something was waiting. I stopped taking the trail for a few days, took a break from running altogether, but part of me felt stupid. Was I really going to let some silent creep ruin my favorite loop? So the next Sunday, I went back. Mid-afternoon this time. Sun was high, birds were chirping, it felt safe. I didn't see him at first. I made it all the way to the loop near the reservoir without incident. I stopped for water, caught my breath, then turned to head back. That's when I heard it. Crunch. A single footstep on dry leaves. Not mine. I turned fast, nothing, just trees and that same eerie quiet. I started jogging again, faster this time. Every few steps I'd glance back, still nothing. But then I noticed something strange. The forest wasn't quiet anymore. I could hear breathing, not mine. Slow, wheezy breaths, like someone who hadn't run in years was desperately trying to keep pace with me. I looked back again, still no one. But the breathing continued. I broke into a sprint. Branches snapped behind me, but every time I turned, nothing. I reached the trailhead, heart hammering, lungs burning. When I got home, I locked every door, every window, and stared at the woods behind my house for hours. The next morning, I found muddy footprints outside my back fence, too large to be mine. Since then, I've seen him 3 more times. Never on the trail, always somewhere near my neighborhood. Once across the street, just standing under a broken street lamp. Once outside the gas station, motionless near the dumpsters. And once, just last night, reflected in my window as I closed the curtains. He never speaks, never moves, just stares. I filed a police report. They said they'd look into it, but there's nothing they can do without a crime. But I know this isn't random. Because last night taped to my front door was a Polaroid. Me, running Maple Trail, and in the background, just barely visible in the trees, was the man, smiling. I don't run anymore, and I haven't left my house in 2 days, but I can still hear him, somewhere out there, waiting.